you get a reward for it. And so to see my son, I'm coming to a concert tonight with my daughter. Listen to me, like I didn't give up. And so I'm saying to everybody, we all go through pain. Some of us go through pain and it becomes our tombstone. Some of us go through pain and it's a scar. And we live a life of reward. So I'm just gonna say, again, 2025, do me a favor, check you. So you're in the ballot box and you're looking at all these options, doctor, lawyer, teacher, whatever you see, president, mayor, governor, do me a favor. Before you check off any of that, S&P 500, real estate, before you check any of that, check you.
Yeah.
Before you check anything, check you and go look yourself in the mirror and go, yo, I'm my lottery ticket. Because that's what you've been thinking about, the life. Now think about your life, and I want you to start putting it everywhere. Now, the next thing I want you to do is I want you to know that if you have the ability, like I never forget, CJ was like, okay, E, you know what you're missing, that the big boy, all the big boy speakers, you know what you're missing? I was like, no. He was like, the New York Times bestseller. Now, I'm not telling you got to do it, but I'm saying,
that's what's missing.
That's one of the, you know.
You got it. You got it.
And so he was like, first of all, do you want it? Do you want it?
Don't do it because I'm saying you
but
need
do you want it? And he could elevate you, but do you want it? And I was like, yeah, I want it. The next question becomes, what does it take to do it? I'm not in a relationship. I'm saying, you're telling me, no, listen to me very closely. Do you think for 1 minute that getting in a relationship with somebody, it can't be the key? Because so many people have gotten in relationships and gotten out of it. So that can't be the key. Now, two healthy people, not perfect, but two healthy people coming together, oh no, that's different.
It's expansive.
But guess what has to happen?
You got to be healthy with you.
Healthy with you first before you can be with them. So we even messing each other up when we have two dysfunctional people trying to connect with each other because we think two functional people gonna come together and make each other happy. It's not gonna work. So I just think the first step after the first step is you got to figure out who you are and love you and feel good about you and show up in the ring you and not care what nobody think about you. And that's why this relationship has worked so well for me over the years, because when we're together, it's never been a thing of E, why you do that? Or E, why you do that? Or E, why you do that? It's always been like, E, you have a unique set of skills that make you great. You have a unique set. And so we've always focused on what's our unique skills and what do you know that I don't know and how can you help me get there? And so a lot of these young kids are joining things they shouldn't join and being with people because they think their happiness is going to come from being with somebody else. And I just think if the eagles aren't trying to, they just are, they're not trying. Lions aren't, what do you think about me? Right? Like, what do you think about my roar? You think I'm too loud when I roar? They're not concerned. And so I think step 2, figure out who you are, love you. And step 3, first time I did a behind the scenes coming in here. Just because I was like, to my Patreon community, like, yo, y'all need to understand where I am and what's going on. But if you follow me on Instagram or TikTok, wherever I'm on, you don't see behind the scenes. I think that's a phenomenal tool to show other people but my wife is private. So for us, that does not work. She does not want to be seen in the limelight. She doesn't want to be in Dubai and stop and go, let's document what we're doing. Yeah. She doesn't like that. So for some people it works. But I don't have to do that to still find a space, right? There's some people, you know, they do tours, right? I don't do tours. That's not my thing. I used to do them. I don't do them now. There's some people that write books. Some people don't write books. Like, it doesn't matter. But what matters is you have to find a thing that wakes you up at 3 o'clock or 6 o'clock or 10 o'clock. Like,
my parents really didn't show up for me, or I was abandoned, or I got cheated on and abused, and sexual abuse and physical abuse. And I know what you went through was pretty hard and it was tough in inner city, but what I'm going through is even harder. And it's just, it's too much of a weight. It's too hard. It's too much friction to eat healthier, to get up earlier, to be consistent. It's just too hard. Dream life.
Proud. My wife was like, I want to work out. My son was like, I didn't even know. She was like, I'm going to play basketball. I'm like, I can't do it right now. And I'm listening to a voice. He came home, heard the basketball, went out with his mom. I'm like, yo, my son, 29 years old, is spending time with his mom as an adult male.
Wow.
He could be anywhere doing anything. He's with his mom, her firstborn. They got this bond that I don't have, and they're out here hooping. And as I look at the property, I'm like, yo, what if the 16-year-old Eric Thomas would have stayed the
Wow.
16-year-old Eric Thomas.
Wow.
So I'm saying for those who are listening, get a reward for it and then do me a favor. Don't just think about you. Like, do you know that my son,
You've got an amazing challenge coming up.
Yeah.
It's you2025.com, where you're going to put people through a lot of what we've been talking about and more.
21 days.
21 days,
Straight.
every day,
Every day.
coaching, teaching, mentoring,
teaching, yeah.
giving them
Schedule, what I actually do, not just the passion and stuff you hear it online, but the actual, and for free. But I'm gonna walk you through how many steps I take a day,
Wow.
what I'm drinking, why did I decide to wake up at this time?
Beautiful.
Why am I doing this? So that you can start the year off.
Mm.
And I used to do it in like January-ish, and I'm like, you from Detroit. The 2025 come out in September, October.
Yeah.
Of 2024.
Yeah.
Like, they don't wait to bring,
Sure.
they don't bring 2025 out in January. They bring it out. And so I was like, don't do that. Let's start in November. Let's take it into December, and let's give them the energy and the strategy to go into the new year,
That's right.
knowing that they are their greatest asset and they need to tap into their greatest. There should be like in class, especially you go to college, it should be like UOU 101, UOU 215, like UOU 312. Where, like, literally, you get to sit down and go, who am I? What are my skills? What are the things that I'm challenged with? Like, what industries would I be best in? We spend so much time trying to get that I don't think we spend a significant enough time who we are. Like, who should we become?
Yeah. That's beautiful, man. So they can go to you2025.com to register for that.
Yeah. Like, I don't have no other girlfriends, if that's what you're asking me, but I don't, do you love, she said, no, do you love me? Like, is this serious? And I was like, yeah, it's serious. She said, well, I just got my acceptance letter, and she showed me. Bottom. But this relationship was like hope. Like, when I was with Dee Dee, it was almost like I wasn't homeless for that time frame that we were together.
Wow.
You know, we were in church together. I got a job because she made me get a job. It was just, we would do stuff together, concerts. We would do stuff together as kids. We were downtown Detroit. It's a restaurant called Nikki's, right? Greek Town. So we were in Greek Town on the weekends. Like, I was living life, and I was like, whoa.
She's elevating your life.
I'm like, bro, you rock bottom. And the only light you have in your life is saying they gone. And they're not, and look, bro, I'm just being real. I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but I'm not stupid. She's not gonna go away and get a degree.
Your events, you've spoken at my events, we've helped each other with book launches, all that stuff, and just been fans of each other over 10 years. And we've seen a lot of people in this space come and go. We've seen people try to come and they get a big hit and then they fall off and they don't stay consistent.
Yeah.
And we've continued to stay consistent. And I think what both of us do really well is we have a vision of a future that for ourselves and the world that we live into.
And then, am I willing to do what it takes to get it?
Yeah.
That's it.
Because it's a lot.
It's a lot. But here's the thing. I believe if you think about it, it is only because somewhere inside of you, you have what it takes. Now, capacity is there. Willingness is something totally different.
Yes.
That's different. But I want every human to know, you wouldn't be watching you wouldn't be watching or listening to the School of Greatness if you didn't believe you were great. I'm for real. You wouldn't be spending time with this man, but you recognize I overcame it. And that's why you like, I want to rock with this dude. Because this one some kind of way, Eric ain't the one that's making us feel like, oh, it's okay that you went through this, and it's okay that this, and it's okay if you don't want to grow, and it's okay if you don't want, no, what you're hearing from me is a coach that's saying, Jordan, you got 6 rings in you, but you got to stop playing this way and you got to start playing this way. Kobe, you got great, but you gotta do it this way. Serena, you gotta, Venus, you gotta, Richard Williams is saying, he's not out there just, okay, and based on the research and the evidence, this is the game plan. Let's go. It doesn't matter how you feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, it don't matter how you feel.
Man, I love this.
Yeah.
Again, if we're talking about really developing kind of a bulletproof mindset when the last 5 years for a lot of people has been a lot of stress, overwhelming anxiety. As we move into 2025, in order to have a more powerful, resilient mindset, how important is it for not just me and you, because I already know the answer for me and you. How important is it for everyone to have mentors in their life?
It's everything, man. Listen to me.
Yeah, we don't realize we are a community, right? And look, I'm not trying to be deep. People could, you believe this, you don't believe in this. But what I was taught, in school, especially Catholic school, it seemed like Adam was by himself first. It doesn't seem like it was like somebody else. It was like Adam was first, and then whatever happened after that. So the first man was by himself. And I think that's important for those of us who study that. Why? Because all of us think we have to have somebody to be somebody. And this guy started his journey on his own before he connected with somebody. He knew his purpose. He walked in his confidence. And a lot of us are going, I hear people say all the time, well, I'm not doing good life. Why not? I don't have nobody.
The journey I'm on is very different than most people, which is why I don't judge people. I say that many times. I don't judge people. I'm judged a lot by how I look. My eyes, my not smiling all the time, not laughing, not joking. And that's I'm a funny, big time. But guess what? Right now, it's easy to be happy. It's easy to smile. Those are the good times. The good times. Those times don't need to be trained. You know, I had to train myself for good times. Those times, for most people, don't need to be trained. What I'm trying to give you all is the misery of sometimes we go through in life. Those are the times we don't want to talk about. We want to skip forward to peace. Let's just let's skip all this pain and suffering and misery of real life. Let's cover it over, nice big blanket, and let's find peace. No, sorry. It's not possible. Got to go into that hellhole of life that you have, you up, and fix it. And that's what I'm here to do.
You got to go to war with yourself before there's peace.
That's what I say in the
That's
book.
what you say in the book.
You must go to war with yourself before you find peace. So I'm trying to give you tools on how to do that. And I'm not considering smile and be happy about it. It's a hard journey. It's a real journey. It's a journey that's going to take you way outside of being comfortable. You'll be very, very uncomfortable doing it. When you look in the mirror, that's the one person you can't lie to. So every morning I would shave my head thinking, God, I would reflect back on some of the lies I may have told somebody or some of the ways I acted that I didn't feel comfortable doing. And I did it to impress other normal people. The key word there is normal, everyday people. I was trying to make other people like me. How pathetic is that? So this mirror would always tell me, my reflection would say, God, you are a pathetic man. How does that feel every day to be this way? So I would just start having myself accountable. How did I attack today? How did I attack yesterday? And if I didn't do something I was proud of, I would write down a sticky note and I would fix it. What is possible for a human being? You don't need to have a great family. You don't need to be smart. If you have work ethic and you are willing to outwork the beside you, you can do absolutely whatever you want in life. And that is my biggest treasure that I have is what I have up here in my brain. What I've found out, what I learned through this journey, man, it's not for sale. It took too much, grind, man. It took too much grit to develop this mind and to have this power I have now. I'm not a theorist. I don't read a book about how a mother use his mind. I'm a practitioner. I put myself in hell repeatedly, like a sword. How you make it? You put in the fire, you beat the shit out of it, and that's what I did with my mind, man. So that's what I take the most pride of, right there. That's where you find yourself. You find yourself when you are when you're not comfortable. When you're not comfortable on a daily basis, and that's how I started to grow. Like I said about the mind, it wants to put you in that nice 72-degree temperature with everything right there. It wants to be in that nice with a little massage therapist. That's where your mind wants to be. It doesn't want to be, and we're going to talk about Hell Week. So it doesn't want to be in Hell Week. In Hell Week, I was in 3 of them. I finished 2 of them in 1 year. Only person to ever do that in SEAL history. There's been people who have gone through a couple of Hell Weeks, but in like 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years. I was in 3 in 1 year. They say it takes off 3 to 5 years of your life. So Hell Week is 130 hours of continuous training. You might get 2 hours of sleep. And what it does is it's designed to break a man down to the parts where, like I talked about the surface, how I was fixing the surface. If you only fix the surface, you will never get through Hell Week. Because what it does, it starts to bring out these demons. Because even though there's a lot of yelling and stuff like that, there's times where it's very peaceful in a very eerie way. So the first hour of the 130 is breakout. They're shooting guns, it's loud, it's noisy, your mind is in chaos. When your mind's in chaos, you can't think. So you're having fun. Yeah, this is great. Yeah, we're in Hell Week, we're Navy SEALs, or trying to be Navy SEALs, we're badass. Then what they do, and I don't even think that they understand what they're doing, but I studied the mind. It's perfect. It's psychological warfare. They go from an hour, the first hour when you're going crazy, the second hour of the 130, they put you in the cold water. It's called surf torture. Now they don't call it surf torture because it's a kinder, gentler word. It's called surf acclimation or something like that. Whatever. Everybody's getting soft. So they call it surf torture for a good reason. They put you out there. No one's quit yet. It's only been an hour. Maybe a couple of guys have. And you're in the Pacific Ocean, which is never warm. You're all linked arms. You're sitting there and the waves are crashing over you. I went through winter Hell Weeks, which is cold. The Pacific Ocean is like 50 degrees. It was 49 this particular night in my third Hell Week. And what it does is it makes your mind flip out. We've been doing this now for 3 weeks, being in this water. But for some reason now, the water is colder than it's ever been. It's not. Our minds are fragile. We can process a day. It's hard to process 130 hours. There's no end. There's no end. So the mind starts to ramp up. So you're sitting there, it's quiet, no one's yelling at you, you hear the ocean, and you're freezing. And your mind goes spastic, starts to think, I have another 129 hours. You're not going home, you're getting yelled at, you could be frozen. So you panic, you freak out, and you want to quit. Most of us never start anything cold. If you're gonna go to college, you gotta study your ass off. If you wanna run a 100-mile race, a marathon, if you wanna go be Mr. Olympia, if you wanna go be a scientist, but this is what we do.
You gotta build up to that.
But what happens is, in that moment where we need self-talk, when we're failing and we're in our worst spot possible, we forget the back end. Oh, my fault, the front end. All the build up to where we're at today. We forget that we put years, maybe not into making these dials, but to getting where you're at today.
To become this person.
To become this person, to be in a position to make this money or whatever you want to make, whatever you want to do in your life. We forget that. We forget that journey on what it took for us to get in this moment to make the right decision. So that's my self-talk is this. Okay, I want to get the out of here, man. I'm done. Then I remember this. You ran 2,000 miles training to be in this moment right now. We forget that. We forget the 3 o'clock in the morning runs or getting up early for work or whatever you're doing. We forget all that. In that moment of suffering, I remind myself, I only have 50 more miles. I put in 6 months of training.
You did 67,000 pull-ups.
67,000 pull-ups, that's right.
4,030, right?
Exactly.
Like, this is no big deal.
We forget all of that.
So
what I do, my self-talk is basically going back down memory lane of all those f***ed up days. I ran the fucking rain or I had to study real late at night and I didn't want to do it, but I did it to get here.
That's the hook.
That is the hook.
That's the hook.
I wanted to get here. Now you're here and now you want to quit. So you got to be mindful, but this thing about it, if you haven't put in any hard work to reflect on, you're Now every day I wake up thinking, God, I'm a piece of shit. I'm a piece of shit. But I don't have the courage and the strength and the self-discipline to do what he did. So it's a constant reminder, I don't have the courage, but you do. You do have the courage. You just got to find it.
Absolutely.
You got to find it. That's the hard part. My biggest advice to give everybody in the world is, like I say, we live in an external world. Everything is you got to see it, touch it. It's external. If you can, for the rest of your life, live inside of yourself. Stop listening to people who are calling you fat. Everything that is makes no sense. All these insecure people putting their insecurities on you, you got to flush it out. You got to just be whoever the hell God or whatever the hell you believe in. If you believe in nothing but yourself, I don't care what it is. You got to take everything and throw it away. You have to believe in one thing, and that is yourself. Well, I believe that you have to build belief. Belief is like, there's an after school special belief where the mom says, believe in yourself, and that's all great. But there's also a built belief. And the built belief is one where you are constantly, like for me, I came from a bad place. How I build belief is through the daunting tasks I put myself through. So that's proof positive that I can. So it correlates. And that's how this piece of kid I once thought I was built belief by saying, I was in 3 Hell Weeks. I went to Ranger School. I tried out for Delta Selection.
Undeniable stack of proof.
That is proof. So whenever you think you can't, the confidence comes from the thing that you built. You must build belief. You must build confidence. It can't be like, hey, I'm gonna go knock that shit out. You gotta look over here and say, I can knock it out. It's belief, and it's built on what you put in to yourself. You have to first accept it before you can fix it. A lot of people walk around, oh man, I'm good. I'm good. No, you're not. You have to accept what you're not. You have to, and people don't want to do that. And that's the only way you can fix it. You have to accept it first before you can go on the journey. A lot of folks never even start the journey, man. They never start the journey because they live in this fake life that who they want to be, they act like they are, but they're not because they haven't fixed all this stuff yet. You got to fix this first before we can start our journey in life. So that's why I have them make this list. You fix these problems, now your journey can begin because you no longer care about how people are judging you. When you care more about how someone's judging you, you're going to stay right there. There's no forward momentum. When you figure this out on your own, the amount of pride and dignity and self-respect you have. That's why I walk around the streets with a backpack and just like, I don't need anything else.
Yeah.
You figure it out by going inside yourself, by callousing over the victim's mentality. You're always a victim, even if you have everything in life, until you realize what you've achieved. You have to first realize what you've achieved. You have to want it. You have to want to be a stronger version of yourself. I can't give you that. That's something that you have to want. You have to have a desire and a hunger and a dog in you that wants to become a stronger human being.